All right, next up we got Fischl here, and Oz, of course. Her birthday is May 27th, so we did experience her birthday already. We got her birthday letter. She's affiliated with the Adventurers Guild, the Intelligence Department, if I'm not mistaken, Electrovision, and she's got the Corvus constellation, which is the genus for crows or ravens. A mysterious girl who calls herself Prinzessin der Verurteilung and travels with a night raven named Oz. Character details. Fischl is the Prinzessin der Verurteilung who arrived here after being exiled from the other world, Imanachrite. Close enough. Trying to pronounce it in like the Germanic dialect is not gonna happen. I'm sorry. So anybody who's watching this, I'm sorry if you are of German descent. I am not. I will do my best, but don't expect much. She observes and weaves the threads of fate together with her talking night raven familiar Oz. Owing to reasons she cannot and Oz will not explain, Fischl now serves the Adventurers Guild as an investigator. Character story 1. As an investigator for the Adventurers Guild, the single biggest advantage Fischl has over peers is Oz. Milady, please stop sending me out to spy on Storm Terror. That chap could eat me for breakfast. Well, so puny I probably wouldn't even get caught in his teeth, but anyways, I don't want to die. You are supposed to be my familiar. Not everyone gets to be the Prinzessin der Verurteilung's familiar. Do you understand? Consider it your honor to dedicate your life to serving me. Fischl is able to see through Oz. What? That's literally Norse mythology. That's literally Odin. Ah, that's sick. Whatever she wants, she possesses Oz and looks down upon the world from the sky. Whether she wants to inspect the flora in the Stormbearer's Mountain or observe a disturbance in Wolvendom, through Oz she can see anything and everything. That's so badass, dude. Thanks largely to her unique ability and to a lesser extent her own efforts and particular personality, Fischl quickly went from a rookie investigator at the Adventurers Guild to a respected rising star of the organization. She's certainly done well for herself. She only landed the coveted position of investigator at age 14 in the first place because her parents managed to persuade the guild Yo! Shout out to Fischl's parents persuading Cyrus. Here's the thing. Why would Cyrus need convincing when Cyrus is looking for everybody and their mother to join the Adventurers Guild? We literally did Noel's second hangout and he's like, oh man, we're trying to get people to join. This is gonna make it so much harder. Wouldn't you just let her join without recommendation? Then again, would they really have had to do such persuading? If she's the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, one can only assume that would make them the Kaiser und Kaiserin der Verurteilung. Does that mean the king and queen der Verurteilung? I don't fucking know. Anyways, moving on. Character story 2. It said that there's currently a Fischl dictionary in circulation amongst the adventurers, namely a book that aims to translate Fischl's peculiar way of speaking into something more understandable, aka Oz. For example, I hear echoing in the abyss of time, the burning winds of old, all of which shape the spire, forgotten of the torrent of karma, would translate to Storm Terror's lair. Servants of the Verurteilung name, as you have requested, prepared to receive the great wisdom of the Prinzessin, would be, I'll look into that and let you know ASAP. Rejoice, O ye servants who long for the blessing of the Prinzessin. Venture deep down into the battlefield of hearts of the tiger means that the initial investigation work has been completed. All has been written in this tome of dark prophecies simply means that her journal has been updated with the latest reports. However, the Fischl dictionary is actually just an in-joke, not a real book. Those who are familiar with Fischl concentrate on what she means to say, not the way in which she says it. She notices this and takes it as a sign of true respect. Aha, so you do understand. Then fate does indeed bring kindred spirits together. Those who manage to adopt her speech mannerisms when they respond to her will find she is both delighted and bashful and praises their language learning abilities. A Prinzessin should always give praise where praise is due. Now let us converse some more. Do not be mistaken. These are to be the foundations of the new world. So someone in chat just mentioned Verurteilung is Condemnation. So she is the princess of Condemnation and her mother and father is the emperor and empress of Condemnation. I guess that's the raw translation of what those names mean. Character story 3. Oz and Princess Fischl are not only close friends, but also servant and master with a shared soul and fate. This first encounter was mentioned in Flowers of Princess Fischl, End Time, Zersetzung. I really hope this book is real. I want to read Flowers for Princess Fischl. When the lone pilgrimage princess reached the kingdom of eternal twilight, the fate-resisting royals chose to deny everything in their desperation. They refused to recognize Fischl's noble stature and mission as the princess princess of the Immernachtreich denied their 13,000-year-long lineage as a branch of the royal family and forsook their own nobility and restraints as humans, devolving into clumsy and vicious beasts. In a palace of twilight and amidst the teeth of the beast, the princess shed her sacred blood on the ancient emblem. At this moment of her peril, the dark wings of the night ripped their trapped, wounded princess from their despair and took her under its wing. Following the scent of her noble blood, Osvaldo Ravnavens, the king of ravens, came to the princess and pledged his eternal loyalty. Wow. So his name is Osvaldo. I really like that. Damn, that's super freaking cool. So Oz saved Fischl. Character story 4. There is a story that goes as follows. A long time ago, in a place far, far away, there was a tiny little girl. The girl's parents were busy adventurers. She spent most of her childhood in the library, traversing the countless universes that were contained in the pages of the library book. She became the ruler of the Immernachtreich, summoning thundering retribution as a royal princess and forming a soul bond with the raven. And I think that's the story of Amy. Blank, what book did you read today? I think it's censoring out her name. So Amy, what books did you read today? Her parents asked her on one of the rare occasions that they were home between adventures. She proceeded to tell them that the story she had read from her favorite series. And then he said, Fischl von Luftschloss, Narfidort. You are the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, my proud child. You shall never surrender your nobility and dreams. Oh, that's a lovely story. Since you like it so much, Amy, how about I call you Fischl too? Her father smiled, put his hand on her head, and repeated the words from the story to her. Fischl, you are my wonderful princess and my proud daughter. You shall never surrender your loyalty and nobility. These kind and loving words lit up her world. Yeah, so her parents enabled her to kind of live this life as the Prinzessin because they were supportive of her in that moment, and they're not always around. However, the time for her busy parents was always fleeting. Unable to fit in with her peers due to her obsession with fantasy novels, she often felt lonely and sad. At these times, she would remind herself, I am Fischl, my daddy's wonderful princess. It's true because mommy and daddy said so. Never will I surrender my nobility and dreams, for they are a princess's rite of passage. This is so wholesome, man. I love it. A kid's imagination going wild. Maybe a little too wild. She's kind of like RPing her character IRL. It's a way of immersing herself, and she's able to kind of interact with people more under the guise of Fischl. But we don't really get to know Amy all that much, and we got a little glimpse of it in the Unreconciled Stars event, so I really appreciated that, even though I had no idea about this whole thing. I knew that she was playing a character, but I didn't understand that she was breaking character in that moment when she was actually speaking normally. That was a cool little glimpse into her actual persona. Character story 5. Just like in the universe of Flowers for Princess Fischl, entropy begot destruction. In other words, the girl who loved to dream grew up. On her 14th birthday, those of her peers who refused to accommodate her quirks belittled her once more. This is but a minor setback for the noble princess. My parents will understand, she thought to herself, for if she knew one thing, it was that a princess could never surrender her nobility and dreams. But when she threw herself into her parents' arms in the need of comfort, she was met instead with the gentle words of exasperation. Amy, you are 14 years old. It's fun to make believe, but eventually you need to grow up and put your childish dreams behind you. You just shattered this girl's entire universe by saying that. Oh no. And with that, the same voice that had once lit up her world had now tore it down. That day at midnight, she hid herself in the library she knew so well. She had a strange feeling that she was being watched. Suddenly, she heard an otherworldly flapping of wings. Sure enough, she looked up and her red, swollen eyes met those of a night raven from another world. What transpired afterwards is another story. Fischl doesn't much like this story. Thinking about it causes her to feel suffocating pain and soul-devouring loneliness. Maybe one day this story will be written, but that would be Amy's story, not Fischl's. Fischl was but one identity. She's the Prinzessin. As long as she remembers this simple and perfect logic with a little bit of nobility and a touch of kindness from others, nothing can ever hurt her. Things are looking up for Prinzessin Fischl these days. Not only does she have Oz, but she has finally met a traveler who, just like her, comes from a different world. So it's a defense mechanism. Yeah, her parents were like, cut that shit out. And she was like, but you were the same ones who told me to do this. You know? Similar to how Oz saved Princess Fischl in the story, albeit it was much more fantastical and crazy. Is this Oz real? Is this really an Oz from another world that has come to save Princess Fischl? Because, like, he can't possibly be a figment of her imagination, right? Because, like, we interact with Oz, but maybe he was created from her desire of wanting to be Prinzessin. Maybe she, like, manifested him from that other world, which is super cool. That's crazy, dude. I fucking love Fischl again. I always liked her, but I didn't really know much about her, you know? I've always loved her mannerisms. I thought she was a little extra, but I found it to be very endearing, and now I know why. The thing that's really sad about it is she kind of casted away her true self for this fictional fantasy self because she loves fiction and fantasy books, and I guess she feels like people accept Fischl more than they would accept Amy. But I like both of them. Learning a little bit about Amy would be cool too. Flowers for Princess Fischl, Phantasmagoria. The novel series Flowers for Princess Fischl is available as a collectible set. Due to a tiny number of circulation, it is a priceless commodity amongst loyal fans of the author. But no matter how elegant these works are aesthetically, their worldview remains incredibly bleak. Every good, bright, and noble thing must eventually fall to inexorable entropic destruction, and the final destination of the universe is the realm in waiting of the Prinzessin. Imanachrite. This is the fate of all things, of the universe, and all who live in it. Damn, that's pretty bleak. And the Prinzessin and her loyal companion, the night-severing raven Oz, Oswald Raff-Navens, are the world beasts who will swallow all dreams. Interesting. At the very end, at the end of karma itself, she will grant all the gathered souls her benediction and use her thundering retribution to cleanse all that is ugly and wicked. The Prinzessin will then set her own heart ablaze, and the universe shall be born anew in its immortal light. But before it can all come to pass, the Prinzessin must first roam many universes and see countless new sights. Thus, it is perfectly within the spirit of the original work that the Prinzessin should be struck as an investigator for the Adventurers Guild in a slightly backward world. Just a little twist of fate, nothing more. The Prinzessin will come to understand someday that each moment of her life, no matter how insignificant the little twist can be, is to be treasured. After all, the Prinzessin's very own Phantasmagoria is made out of one such as these. So another thing that I think is really cool is that MiHoYo chose Fischl as one of the two characters along with Kaching to use as the collaboration in Honkai Impact 3rd. And that's kind of cool because this is like her mission. Her goal is to see as many other worlds and universes before condemning it all to oblivion, essentially. This is pretty bleak. I wonder if Xing Cho has read the book. He's a pretty big purveyor of literature. I really hope this book exists. I would love to read some of the stories of Princess Fischl, which is the story that inspired this character before us, so that's pretty cool. Vision. So is Oz just an imaginary friend who only exists as a figment of Fischl's subconscious? Our story begins with the royal heirloom, Edelstein der Dunkelheit. That is to say, Fischl's vision. Oh god, so we're getting translations. When her wish was acknowledged, the Raven Oz and her vision both appeared before her eyes. That night at dinner, Oz got on most well with Fischl's parents. Ah, mein Kaiser und Kaiserin der Verurteilung. Forgive mine oversteps, but the beans in your house are too delicious. Oh, then please help yourself. This is the first time little Amy has met a friend she can bring over for dinner since she turned 14. This is a special occasion. So she met Oz on her 14th birthday, I assume, and she got her vision the same day too. Or even more so, Oz is a manifestation of the vision. Electrovisions have summonings, right? So Razor summons the wolves, she summons Oz, Lisa summons like a rose lamp or whatever. I wonder if he's a manifestation of the vision. That would make a lot more sense. What are you saying? One does not simply cavort with the plebeians. And that's what happened. For all intents and purposes, it seems that the Kaiser und Kaiserin der Verurteilung could see both Oz and believed Oz to be the Prinzessin's first friend. As for the adventurers who bear the world's curses and the visitor from the outer world and the strange face-shaped emergency sustenance, they would become Prinzessin's new friends, though they would happen even further in the future. Hey, that's us. What I love about this more than anything is that it says the visitor from the strange world and the strange face-shaped emergency sustenance, aka emergency food. So that is talking about me and Paimon along with the adventurers that she met in the Adventurers Guild, so she would eventually have friends in the future. God, that's awesome. That's so freaking spot on.
I, Fischl, Prinzessin der Verurteilung, descend upon this land by the call of fate and... Oh, you are also a traveler from another world? Very well. I grant you permission to travel with me.
She means nice to meet you.
Oz with the translations, you love to see it.
I hear the voice of fate,
Speaking my name in humble supplication. Yeah, I've heard that one so much.
May the glory of the Prinzessin bring light to this world. I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
I love Oz's fucking pronunciations. Love it, dude. I absolutely love it.
Oh, the sun's out. Oh, this meteorological transformation...
I think she broke character. Hold on.
Oh, the sun's out.
Oh! We got a little Amy in here, too!
This meteorological transformation is most splendid. Like a felicitous twist of fate in the face of certain doom.
We got Oz, we got Fischl, featuring a little bit of Amy in there.
Hark! 'Tis thundering retribution.
That's cool.
An omen of dark times ahead.
That, and mein Fräulein's laundry is still on the line.
What? Seriously?
Oh my god, I love this.
A wonderful sight indeed. Why, it reminds me of my homeworld, where at the sight of the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, the very blood and tears of sinners turn to ice. Achoo! Achoo!
Not only their blood and tears, but also their saliva and mucus, mein Fräulein.
Oz?
She's sneezing all over me! 6 feet! Social distancing!
Ozzy, my dear familiar.
Ozzy, what's gotten into you?
Her Majesty beseeches you to unfurl your blessed wings, and with them blot out the heavens, plunging the world into eternal night.
If you didn't bring your parasol with you, that's your own fault, mein Fräulein.
Spread out your wings so I can have some shade. I forgot my parasol.
Dusk and dawn, but fleeting shadows are. Once more, the twists of fate have led you into my everlasting night.
Good morning. Mein Fräulein heard you'd be dropping by, so she's preparing breakfast.
Oz! To what do I owe the pleasure?
Aw, Amy making breakfast? That's pog, dude.
Even one of royal blood finds oneself susceptible to drowsiness at this hour.
Yeah, sleeping in the afternoon, I feel that.
The stars of firmament are naught but rifts, thrust open by Oz's beak into the boundless tapestry of darkness.
You do say the strangest things, mein Fräulein.
Sweet shall be thy sleep, spared of the mares of the night. For no nightmares would dare draw near to those who are blessed by the Immernachish.
She means good night.
I was kind of close. Nash. I'm gonna stop. Let's continue. I was not close at all.
Me? Remember thou this, that I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, sovereign of the Immernachish, omniscient and imminent judge of all the world's iniquity.
She's an investigator for the Adventurers Guild.
That is but one of my many royal engagements.
Clearly, I can't pronounce that.
Hugh and I are both travelers from another world. That our paths have crossed here is no accident, but the will of fate.
Hey, there you go. Fate be upon you.
You seem troubled. Traveler, do not lose heart.
Aw.
For with my left eye, the Auge der Verurteilung, which sees the threads of fate, I will surely keep you from harm.
What?
And Oz, the raven that has witnessed the demise of countless worlds, will watch over you on your journey. Should this world, like a beast prowling in the night, covet your dreams, then I, Prinzessin der Verurteilung, shall fell it with my ensorcelled arrows of judgment.
Holy shit. Remember in her last story thing, she said like she saw she would become friends with the Traveler and Paimon, the Adventurers Guild. She's got a little like future sight in her eye. I don't know if that's real or if that's just fluff for her character. That's super cool.
Oz, my loyal companion, that we should have met this person, one who hails from another world as I do. Perhaps even cruel fate has deigned to smile upon me, though sin courses through my veins. If I am indeed destined to remain here, in this inescapable prison that is reality, at least...
I understand, mein Fräulein. In this traveler, Fräulein has found one who will never forsake her.
Aww.
Osvaldo von Hafnweins, I, the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, sovereign of the Immernachish, do hereby call upon thee to do all within thy power, to deliver the traveler from the claws of fate that would seek to snatch them at every turn, and to ready thy mind lest thou be required to make the ultimate sacrifice in the performance of this noblest of duties.
Oh my god.
You'd place my life in danger so easily, mein Fräulein?
Damn, Oz. You're on the chopping block, my guy. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh? You inquire about my Edelstein der Dunkelheit? It is a royal heirloom. a ceremonial ornament that displays the majesty of the Prinzessin der Verurteilung before the unworthy. Even here, in this fallen world, I have been reunited with my rightful inheritance as one of royal blood and noble spirit. For the majesty of a true princess shall draw her royal heirlooms unto her wherever so she may roam.
Hey, it's about her vision. Pog. It's what gave her this new life, essentially. I'd care about it, too.
If one must reckon time as this world does, I, Fischl, have already seen 3,000 winters. Not that the illusory passage of time has any bearing on one such as I, to whom the causality of 3,000 universes has been unveiled.
Be that as it may, mein Fräulein, you are not yet considered to be of drinking age in this world.
Got him!
And no bartender can ever be convinced otherwise.
Damn. That's a cap right there, Fischl.
Oz's full name is Osvaldo von Hafnavines.
Thank you.
Where I hail from, he holds dominion over star and sky across 3 universes.
Pog.
And the souls of the mighty, fallen in battle, rest in the shadow of his wings. One should add that the penalty for mispronouncing his name is to have one's tongue torn from one's mouth.
No!
However, as I am a princess and you are one who has my favor, we are at liberty to simply call him Oz.
I fucked up! How ironic! You pronounce his name wrong? You gotta pay, my guy. Osvaldo von Hafnavines, okay? I did it. Oh, she's talking about Benny Boy. He's got a crush on you, by the way.
Oh, the ill-starred young man. My Og der Verurteilung has seen with unmistakable clarity how his heart ails at being forsaken by the world.
Someone needs to keep an eye on the unlucky fellow.
The ill-starred young man. That's such a great way of saying this kid's unlucky.
The Magus Custodian of Books, gatekeeper of universal knowledge. Win her trust and one may yet gain access to a vast repository of wisdom.
She means, as long as you return your first few library books on time, you'll never have any trouble borrowing a book again.
That makes sense. I thought she was getting at, yo, Lisa's actually like Galaxy Brain. She knows a lot of shit. And I'm like, yeah, I know it is, but it's because she has the books, and the books have the knowledge. But I think she does too.
His nature is obscure, his fate a mystery, and his speech a vexing tapestry woven of both fact and fiction. Perhaps he and I share the burden of mystical sight.
Or perhaps he's secretly an actual pirate.
Damn, Kai is a mystery to everybody. No one can tell me anything about this man. It's ridiculous.
Ah, yes. Mona, the mighty astrologer. Mona, who once had the vanity to probe the fate of the Prinzessin der Verurteilung herself.
Uh-oh.
She wound up a trembling wreck, overborne and overmastered.
The poor lass was trying desperately not to laugh. It was no easy task.
That's great. I mean, Fischl and Mona being in the Unreconciled Stars event is pretty fucking cool. That was like my first exposure to both of the characters, and I love them both. Interesting how they're both kind of destined by fate in different ways.
One finds Sister Rosaria to be a most devout believer in the Animo Archon.
Devout believer, mein Fräulein?
Indeed. One night I heard her invoking the name of the Archon thus in another's presence.
Oh?
May you be struck down in the name of Lord Barnabas. One presumed that she was leading a prayer.
Barnabas. I love the consistency there, because that's what she called him in her lore that we just did a little while ago. That was too good.
To condemn the guilty, to sanctify the just, and to draw all castaway dreams into the embrace of the infinite Immernachtreich. This is the birthright of the Prinzessin der Verurteilung. And her burden.
Ah.
None may gainsay it. My left eye. It is the all-seeing Aug der Verurteilung, which reveals all that is true in the world.
Albedo, get her eye! You have to pull a Naruto. You gotta pull out her Sharingan. It reveals the truth of the world. Just find Fischl, Albedo. You're good. Easy clap. GG. Just grab Albedo, Mona, Fischl. You got an astrologer, you got an alchemist with alchemy, and you got Fischl who knows everything. World saved.
My left eye. It is the all-seeing Aug der Verurteilung, which reveals all that is true in the world.
Yes!
As to the question of why I conceal it, well, would you willingly bear the agony of piercing to the heart of all truths? Furthermore, the world would lose much of its appeal if wholly stripped of delusion and falsehood.
Damn. She's like, I can't handle the truth. Damn, imagine you just knew everything. Your mind would probably be like so screwed. I don't blame her at all.
Storm Terror? Why, one never would have thought that a being that one might have kept as her pet could, in this world, be capable of causing such calamity.
Damn.
Pitiable are the incompetents of this world.
That said, Mein Fräulein, were you not beside yourself with worry for everyone's safety during said calamity?
That is because the Prinzessin der Verurteilung has the solemn duty to safeguard the souls of all, be they petty beings or not.
Nice save, Fischl. Nice save. It's okay to care about others.
Some people address her by other names, but to me, the one who gave me life and bestowed my powers upon me is Fischl, and none other. All things considered, Fischl is the name that most aptly captures her identity. Seriously, don't call her anything else or...
Oh, how one's royal ears do burn. Pray tell, what is the matter which you discuss so furtively?
Midnight Phantasmagoria, Mein Fräulein, and the majesty of the Verurteilung name.
He was like, yeah, seriously, don't call her anything else or she's gonna have a fucking mental breakdown.
Why must the Prinzessin der Verurteilung punish sin? Because sin defies fate's rightful decree, of course. And of course, fate brought you here, so...
Oh!
It was fate that saw to your descent upon this world. Destiny that saw our paths intertwined. I, Fischl, shall always protect you.
Aw.
Because fate has revealed to me that this is what has been decreed.
She's too good. I love Fischl. She's awesome. There's a little bit of Amy in there, too. She's like, because I said so, baka.
I, Fischl, have roamed the galaxy and traversed countless worlds. I have learned the fate of 10,000 universes, and have had revealed unto me the destiny of every living soul.
Can you tell us what the Saritsa's doing? Can you tell us if Zhongli had anything to do with Conria's destruction so we can suss him out? Tell us what Kaya's doing. Tell us the truth of the world. She's just like, I know everything. Okay, well, can you make this 10-year-long game, like, a little bit sooner?
Mein Fräulein reads a lot of novels. My name, Oz, is from one of her favorites.
Ah, Osvaldo von Hafnavines.
What does it take to rile a princess? If you must know, it is those who cannot recognize my true identity. But it is no great loss, for solitude is the noble's lot, so long as I do not lose the nobility of my soul.
There you go.
What is food but the shackles of mortal flesh? But if the Prinzessin der Verurteilung should reckon any morsel worthy, then it must be the tears of sinners and the tongues of liars.
Has Mein Fräulein lost her appetite for the Mitternachtbrot des Sommernachtgartens?
That is merely to provide mine earthly vessel with such sustenance as it doth require to perform its royal duties.
Hold on, is that salad? I don't know. Least favorite food.
I believe I know the answer to this one.
Indeed you do, Oz. That poor mortal coil, mutilated by bondage unnatural.
It will never again fly as I do.
Deprived of the humble coif with which it was born to gaze in awe at the majesty of its monarch. Surely it is a glimpse of my homeworld's hell in the flesh. The name of the dish escapes me.
Something, madame, isn't it?
So she doesn't like to eat birds. She doesn't like to eat sweet, madame. I mean, it makes sense, right? She's got a bird friend. Last thing you want to do is eat one of his kind. Fischl and Timmy? Yeah, they definitely get along.
My magic arrow cries out my holy name as it streaks through the night, praying that the violet lightning of retribution shall strike the enemies of fate down from the skies.
Quite awe-inspiring, Mein Fräulein. Since it's nearly dinner time, perhaps you might shoot a pigeon down while you're at it.
That completely contradicts her least favorite food, but okay, let's keep it moving.
With this, I may more fully manifest my majesty as Prinzessin der Verurteilung and defeat that sworn enemy of fate named reality.
It will also be of use in your work for the Adventurers Guild, Mein Fräulein.
Rejoice, else tremble in fear. Whenceforth springs this call to mirth and misery, you ask? Let it be known that I, the Prinzessin der Verurteilung, sovereign of the Immernachtreich, have peered forth with my leftmost eye into the tapestry of fate that doth make up the universe, and beheld its every warp, weft, and dangling orphaned thread.
Damn, that was a work of art. Whoever wrote Fischl's dialogue or like conceptualized her character must have had so much fun creating a character of a character. Shout out to Brittany Cox for performing. We do not have the Ascension, unfortunately. That is all we got right now for Fischl. We can't say her real name, otherwise I will get my tongue cut into 1,000 pieces with thorns. So we'll just leave it at Fischl, Prinzessin der Verurteilung, and don't you forget it. Featuring Osvaldo von Hafnavines, aka Oz. I really liked this. I loved Fischl. I love the character that they've built up for her. I love that her entire character is just built on like imagination and fantasy and that part of being a kid. And she's great. She's one of the best supports in the game. Yeah, I really, really appreciated that. And shout out to Oz as well.